for episode 2 of our Pondside podcast, and we're a little spoiled today because we've got some great guests. So we've got Evo here from the Koi Partner, and then Hunter and Savannah from Select Koi.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you
for having us. Yeah.
And then we've got Kyle here from Atlantic Owasso.
Hi, everyone. How you guys doing?
Great.
Yeah, very excited to have everybody here. So yeah, if you guys could start and just tell us a little bit about you and what you do and where you're from.
Well, do you have some minutes?
Yeah.
So my name is Ivo. I am from the Netherlands, quite close to Amsterdam. Being in the koi industry and pond industry since 2012, starting doing YouTube in 2018. And actually, it went very well. And we built a nice community and spreading out the pond and koi life around the world. So, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I'm the president and CEO of Select Koi, and, we sell high-end koi fish, and we go to Japan, and we bring them back here, and we cater like a concierge service to our clients, all kinds of different things.
Yeah. Kyle Weemhoff, and I'm with Atlantic Owasso. I'm the Southwest Regional Sales Manager. Cover quite a few states, including Colorado, Utah, California, just to name a few. Been in the industry and with Atlantic since about 2016 in this position. So been around tons of different koi ponds, tons of different water features, work very, very closely with guys at Art of the Yard out here in Colorado. It's a great privilege and obviously an incredible industry since we're all in it and so all a part of it. Something that, has really become a passion for me is being able to explore and see all the different koi ponds and get to meet great people like the Art of the Yard guys, Heath and Shane, and then Hunter and Evo and Savannah this week. So it's been a lot of fun on our road trip that we've been on basically the last few days, visiting all the amazing different water features and koi ponds that we've been able to see.
So I'm Savannah, and I am the designer at Select Koi. So I 3D model koi ponds, and then I can walk the clients through in virtual reality. And we just make it photorealistic so that, people can see what their koi ponds look like before we actually build them. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the koi hobby and all the wonderful people that I get to meet along the way.
You guys have been on quite the road trip this week. Where all have you hit? What have you seen?
Well, my trip started in Amsterdam at the airport. I've seen Philadelphia, only the airport, to be honest. And we started in Knoxville. We had a koi festival together with Oase and Select Koi, organized by Hunter and Savannah at the shop in Sevierville. I have problems with that name all the time. I don't know why.
Just start saying the Smoky Mountains. That's better.
The Smoky Mountains. Then we visit a koi pond that blew my mind away. We've been there last year when Hunter was constructing that koi pond. I've never seen so much concrete. I told Hunter as a joke, if there's a war someday, I will probably take shelter in that koi pond. But no, it's I don't want to spoil anything, but that pond is crazy. So that was in Nashville, actually.
Yeah,
Bucksnort.
Nashville, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And from Nashville, we flew to Los Angeles, California. What we did there was crazy. We went to Laguna Hills, visited a night koi pond there. Beverly Hills, had to meet some crazy or very cool people, like the guys from the Property Brothers. Yeah, so it was really, really cool as well. And then this morning it was 5 a.m. My alarm went off and we had to head to the airport. And today we arrived here in Denver. We visited, before this podcast already, one of your projects. And I was blown away. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a very, very cool project too. And I know, it's one that I've been out to a few different times and, now seeing, I think, fully complete and really all the plants matured. It was quite the scene. And I think for you guys, it's probably something different, especially Evo, you've probably never seen too many koi ponds that really look like that we got to see today.
Yeah, so what's really special about this is that this is actually like a water feature koi pond with all the necessaries you need for keeping your fish healthy. So there are a lot of ponds out there that not really are used or being, I don't know the right English word, but you probably shouldn't put koi in there because it's not the ideal environment. And what you guys created at this place is so good. This is what I want to see. So compared to the ponds that I've seen around the world, for example, in Dubai or Europe or even in Japan, everything was perfect. It has bottom drains, normal drains, water features, waterfalls, no gravel on the bottom. And the water quality is insane. It was so clear. The fish look healthy. And those are the signs for me that you have a great working koi pond.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. And a lot of it's due to all the new, Owasa technology, new to us. I know Europe's had it for a while, but those things are pretty phenomenal.
Absolutely. I think one of the big conversations I think we've been having all week is really when it comes down to filtration in the pond versus, what we call maybe like a ecosystem. What I look at is like the American style of building koi ponds that we've seen for so many years. I think the things that I've really been able to gain from you and learn here over the last couple of days is just looking at the different types of filtration systems there are and the big difference in the health of the koi. I mean, Hunter, really spoke quite a lot about it as well. And just, kind of the transformation we've been seeing in the States and how really the next step we're able to take to really get to where the rest of the world's been when it comes to building koi ponds. I know you guys you agree with me, and you probably speak a lot more to it because you've been around the world and seen so many different koi ponds as well.
I would definitely say that I see a lot of water garden, really nice water features being built, right? But when it comes down to it, I don't necessarily know if you order a koi from me off a line and it's an expensive koi, even $1,000 koi you buy, right? And which is probably on the lower end of the spectrum for high quality koi. So if you buy something from me, I don't know what pond you have, I don't know what filtration you have. It's just an order that comes through and we ship it out. And then sometimes we'll get a call like, hey, I don't know what's going on with my koi, and I'm like, okay, well, how can I help? And a lot of the times that they're suffering, the koi are really suffering, and so that's a big concern for me because I take a lot of pride in picking each piece, and to see that somebody gets it and then they have a problem in their pond, it breaks my heart. So I want to help them and show them, hey, this is the right way to do things. And Ivo's been a really big influence in trying to move in that direction. And I think he's certainly got a large enough microphone, no pun intended. So I think that what we'll see is people coming to Owasa because of the product line, and they're certainly coming to me for it. And I'm really happy because I can guarantee crystal clear water. Like, come on.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
No.
So yeah, absolutely agree on that, and it's also the philosophy of Owasa. In the end, it's all about education. If you compare, we have talked a lot about this in the last few days. If you compare, for example, the European market and how ponds are built and designed, they're a bit ahead when it comes to, for example, the United States. On the other hand, when you look at design, the designs here are phenomenal. A pond is really like it's getting into the garden and it matches with the house. And most of the koi ponds in Europe are square ones or or round ones. So that is first of all one thing. But everything starts with the design and the education about the people, but also the people that build the koi ponds. We all want to enjoy the fish and we want to keep the fish as long as possible and also healthy. And if you want to do that, you need proper filtration system. And the reason why I'm working together with Owasa is they have created such beautiful products. And I'm not only talking about the Profi Clears, also the pumps that they're using, the UV lights. It is high quality German-made stuff. They have a great philosophy. They are the only ones that give you the clear water guarantee. Hunter was just already talking about And that's also because Oase is such a big company. They can give that guarantee. They have spare parts around the world, so you don't have issues. If something happened, you just give a call and it's there within a day or a couple of days, instead of waiting for weeks for your parts from, I don't know where it has to come from. So everything starts with the design phase. You know more about that than I do. You are the guys that create these amazing ponds, and I am the one that is documenting them. And without you, I will have to resign quick, I guess. So please keep building these ponds.
And that's why we love that you're here, because we get to show that you can have a dedicated koi pond and still have that natural feel and style to it. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
And here it's always been aesthetics first. It's always been, what's the pond going to look like, not how is it going to function.
Yeah, what's the water
And that's
quality?
been our big push over the last 10 years probably, is just filtering them right and making sure that they function properly and have a nice mountain waterfall look to them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing for me that I feel is really important is, and like I was talking to you guys about, is if you are spending, more time cleaning your water and worried about your fish health than you actually enjoy it, that opportunity cost is too high.
Right.
So if some people that are in the traditional sense of taking care of their ponds, they have a routine about it. Maybe they really enjoy it. But I think that for most people, when it comes down to it, we really want to enjoy the koi and have healthy, clear ponds. And it makes it a lot easier for a guy like me to feel comfortable about bringing something of high quality to collectors, but even on just, regular ponds that have a lot of fish, we're much better off, at this point. And Oase introducing it, and they're putting effort, on the back end. So they're actually supporting us, to make the ponds as efficient as possible. Even going to, Frayne and going to Sean, and asking for help. Hey, how's the best way that we can set this up? Because, there's modules, actually. People probably don't even know about the module systems. People don't know about gravity systems. Right. This is going to change how it's done in America. Like, it's really coming, and it's coming quick.
Yeah. And I think one of the best things that we spoke about is really where America is in the koi industry. We're like a 3-year-old, right? Is what we were kind of
Right,
saying.
yeah.
So early on in infancy that in the next 20 years, I think with a lot of this technology that we're bringing over to the United States and being able to implement into these ponds, we're going to see some major growth within the industry, and it's going to give people the opportunity to have more koi collectors out there and really enjoy the fish and be able to, see that swimming art that we all get to love and enjoy. And I think that's one of the things that really drives this industry when it comes down to it. And in the end, for us, we're always looking for just the next best thing, right? And
Right.
we're starting to see it in the U.S. and we can take things from around the world. And I think you've opened my eyes to seeing some of the things that we saw in some of the ponds that you've showed me in Europe and the different filtration systems. And I think this week has really opened my eyes too, as well, to the types of the collection side of the fish and how it really truly is art. And I want to see the rest of America be able to have that opportunity and experience that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I think the crowd's getting younger and younger. It used to be that it was kind of that older generation's, hobby. And now younger people are starting to get interested in it. It's people like Evo pushing that.
Thank you for
Yeah, it's amazing.
being young.
That's what we want. For a long time, we were building pondless waterfalls. Like, they're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
They're no maintenance, but you don't get to enjoy the fish.
Yeah.
Right.
But now we're seeing a lot of people, that trend is shifting, and it's great to see.
Yeah, the industry is getting bigger quick,
Mhm.
especially here in the United States. And I try to promote the industry as best as I can because I fell in love with this fish such a long time ago. To be honest, I started in 2012. Won't tell you the whole story because then we're probably sitting here for the next 4 or 5 hours. But so for me, it's so important that I always try to. Koi are pets.
Mhm.
People take care of them, should take care of them. So if you buy fish for thousands or sometimes $10,000s, you want to have proper environment to keep them as long as possible. So an investment in a good filtration system like the ProfiClear, it is nothing compared to the health of the fish. And also what I really like you were saying, it's a journey. I mean, your first pond is never your last pond. That's the golden or the fifth rule that we were always saying. So what you want when you're building your first or second pond and you're maybe hiring a contractor, you want them as well that they know what they're doing. So if you have problems because you built your first or second pond and fish die and you regret of not like having the right systems there and the right bottom drain, so the whole design part is not like it should be to have proper koi, it will ruin people's hobby. They will stop.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen this many times in Europe where people literally fell in love with the hobby, fell in love with the fish and Japan and the culture. And also the friendships around it, because the fact that we are sitting here, we're able to do this tour. People, they are literally letting us, they're showing us their houses, their gardens. That is something that is so unique within our industry. So if someone is disappointed about, for example, the build of his pond or is getting problems, they stop. And that's something we want to prevent. So it's all about education and getting people in the right direction in that journey, because we want to have people enjoy their fish, their ponds as long as possible.
Yeah. We always talk about that. I would rather there be 10 great contractors than 100 mediocre ones, because anybody, they have their first pond and they have issues with it, they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to pay again to have their water feature rebuilt, or they're going to be done with the hobby. So it's so important to have those first situations be good situations, so that way it continues to grow.
Yeah.
Continues that love.
It's like a dream, right? You're creating a paradise, and maybe you live in the suburbs, right? You got a small backyard, but you're literally creating your little slice of paradise right there, And I think if you do a disservice by not actually putting the right pieces in play, okay, and things like this, then you're going to definitely not only ruin that customer's, excitement, but maybe they've been saving up for a long time to build something so cool. And then, they spend time looking through and trying to pick the perfect fish, and then come to find out that they just have a waterfall that, filters their water. It's like,
with the fish tank filter on it.
It's terrible. Yeah. So
exactly. I think one of the things that I've really learned, and I've seen in my position, being with Atlantic and then the acquisition that we had from Awasa, and really getting to understand the filtration systems. I know off the bat, some of the people at Atlantic Water Gardens, when that happened, they're like, "Oh, we don't need the filtration. Like, that's overblown, blah blah blah, all that stuff." I think I've seen everybody in our company really have their eyes open to the possibilities and really the direction, the future that this industry needs to go. Because I think here in America, one of the things is a lot of us within the industry, in the water garden industry, have been kind of fed a little bit of a lie about how you just build this like natural ecosystem and you can just throw fish in there and they should just survive and do what they're supposed to do. It's just not the case. I mean, the koi are, no offense, kind of dirty animals a little bit, right? And you need to be able to pull their waste out and really keep a clean environment. I mean, you and I don't sleep in where we pee and poop, no? And why would you do the same thing to a koi fish and really have them sitting in that type of water quality? So I think for us, and especially all you guys who've been, very instrumental in building up this industry and seeing all the different things, I think it's really up to a lot of us to really try and think about it, learn about it, and then go out and actually implement a good plan on how we can help, drive and make the industry better and give people happier fish when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's beautiful said.
And we almost need to re-educate the public, because like you were saying, they've been educated the wrong way for so many years.
right.
And when we first saw that ProfiClear filter, we were like, how are we going to sell this thing? First of all, it's a huge box you got to figure out how to hide. Second of all, they're not cheap.
No.
But once we got one in the ground, it just snowballed from there, and it was amazing. And we're already seeing the effects of what that filter can do. As you guys saw, the water clarity up at that Colorado Springs job.
Beautiful.
And we've got another one you'll see tonight that's crystal clear.
Yeah, it was
It's
guaranteed, and it was clear when we got there.
Yep.
So it's not only about like, of course, it's about creating a great environment with good water quality, but it's also about the maintenance. The fact that you have with these systems, you don't have to clean up all your other filter systems, or you have to clean your pond, or I mean, refreshing your water is always good. I always say you have to refresh your pond like 10% of the water.
That's the nice thing about the ProfiClear, though. It does it for you.
Thank you for yeah. So it has so many advantages.
Yeah.
It really does. I think, one of the, things that I think was really cool this week is we went over to one of Hunter's clients' homes, and he has an amazing koi pond, and just the kind of enthusiasm that he had about it. I mean, it was just really, I guess, his first pond, maybe he said when he was younger, he really got into koi fish. But I think one of the things that I think was really awesome is, he was talking to Hunter, and he's already ready to expand and really take that next step and get even better filtration for his fish. And we could talk to him about the difference that he's going to have. And I think for, guys, like Hunter and Evo and Jane and Heath, the ability for them to communicate the difference in that and what it's going to do, and then seeing that reaction from the customer and be like, yeah, I want it to happen. Let's make that happen because I want what's best for the environment, for my pets.
Yeah. I don't want to look bad either, right?
No.
I want to come in, put it in. I'm happy. They're happy. The fish are happy.
Mm-hmm.
And your koi are such an investment, and that filter is just the insurance for their life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think there's also some talk, between guys like us, right? We hear things that go on, and why this filter would be different from this filter, and they should use this one. And so I'll tell you this: when I started my koi shop, I think I went through 13 filters, 13 freaking filters, and I was so tired of it. And I just kept working on it. And, when it came to the RDF, there was another company that was coming in and hey, this is the way that we're going to do it. But I could get the results testing out, they test out well. But the maintenance, right? The maintenance is I have employees I got to pay to do a lot of maintenance there. But if I can keep it down to 10 seconds a month with a ProfiClear, I mean, what's the advantage to my clients is that I'm not spending as much on labor, so I don't need to charge as much for fish either, right. Which is a good benefit to me. But it's also the same benefit that they're getting, when they're sitting there watching their fish. So I think that's a nice advantage. But you also have, where they say, RDF can shut down if the motor goes bad. You don't have filtration, and that's true typically. But in this case, what Oasa did is they made the drum where you can take out a screen, which means that the water can pass over and through the screen and go over to the moving media bed. I mean, yeah, it's not turning, and you can get it fixed relatively quickly. But
and it's temporary because you get immediately a message in your email or on your phone if something breaks down.
That's right. Yeah, the cloud controller, wow. Wow.
It's a game changer. I mean, who at this point in our lives, we've all seen the advancement of technology. I mean, to be able to have that at your own koi pond, everybody wants to be able to see when their filter's cleaning itself, what your water temperatures are. I mean, that instant, be able to read, understand, and then be able to react to what's happening is a game changer. And especially for our industry where you're not always out there. Sometimes you're not home. Sometimes you're on vacation. And if you have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fish in your pond that you care a lot about, you want to know if there's something going on inside that pond, even if you're not home, and can be able to call someone to help you out and fix it. So it really is the EGC is a great addition, and it's something that I think is going to just keep advancing and give us the utmost ability to really care for the fish out there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if you say in Europe, if you say I'm going to build a koi pond without mechanical filtration system, people will say, "Are you crazy?" I mean, without any mechanical filtration, you're gonna think you're gonna keep the koi healthy, and it's true. I mean, there are exceptions, but then you need meters and meters of biological materials. But you want to have a nice pond. You want to hide your filtration system. You don't want to worry about it, and you want to save space, because if you can save space on your filtration system, you can build a bigger pond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what about pump fed? I mean, having a pump fed system, you can retrofit any of these water garden ponds. I mean, that you're not going to build a vault next to it normally, right? You're going to go in and put it in and retrofit bottom drain. So, I mean, the fact that you can do it pump fed and then you have all the backup too, it's over for me,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we always at Atlantic Owasso, I mean, one of the big things that we've been really talking about over the last couple of years, especially with the Profi Clears coming to America, is how can we, really get in front of our contractor base and our customer base and talk to them about what we call pond rehabilitation. And, with the pump fed option that we have with these filters, it gives us that opportunity to go in there on existing ponds and add a proper filtration system. And allow you to have your fish flourish and grow and actually develop the colors that they're supposed to develop. And I think for us, getting that in front and getting that out to as many people to see it and understand it is amazing. I mean, one of the things I always hear, and I think, Shane, you mentioned this to me as well, after you installed your Profi Clear onto your pond, the difference in how often you were even cleaning your skimmer. I mean, I think that alone just shows what's going on and really at the water quality level that you're not seeing, with your eyes.
Yeah.
I think sorry for interrupting. I think at least it's my mission to educate the people about the possibilities and make sure that the people can enjoy their fish as long as possible. And that's why I'm saying it. Maybe I've said it 2 times already. I'm very happy with the partnerships I have with Hunter and, of course, Owasso and Atlantic Owasso. What we're doing here is about education and entertainment. Because if the education is right, you can enjoy your pond and fish.
We were talking about this, Hunter, where you go home and, before I had that filter, you spend, the next 45 minutes after you get home cleaning out skimmers, making sure everything's good, cleaning the strainer basket, doing all these things. And then it's dark out and, you want to have a drink, go to bed, be done with it. Now when I go home, I just feed the koi and enjoy it.
Do you know what it's like to clean your sponge filter by hand?
Well, I did it 12 years ago.
Yeah, I don't want to ever do that again. Yeah, you're right. You're on that.
So important. What is your time worth?
So we've promoted Atlantic Owasso quite a bit right now. Let's move on to a different subject and something a little different.
Yeah, sure.
Your favorite koi breeder and your favorite kind of koi.
Ooh.
I'm going to leave the room.
Yeah. I can't answer that.
Oh.
My favorite koi.
Okay, let's just go with koi type then.
I'll say this. My favorite koi breeder is Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's
Good answer.
my favorite.
The next koi that you sell, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate, a certain few breeders have helped me to be successful, and they put their energy into me, and I try to put the equal amount back into it, and I never want to disappoint them or let them down. So you always want to do your best at all times. Japanese relationships are extremely important, and without those guys and those relationships, we're not doing anything actually. But to speak to one that's helped me out tremendously, I would say Shigeru from Dainichi. And now we have Dainichi USA, which is it's a blessing. You should see the fish.
Yeah, I tried to avoid this question many times, but Hunter hits the nail here. The relationships with the breeders, they are so important. I'm building this since the first time that I went to Japan in 2013. And it's not something that if you go visit Japan once or 2 or maybe even 5 times, you get more access to the exclusive harvests, or they going to show you some behind the scenes. You really need to invest in that. But maybe more important, they are friends. They're good friends. So I think the question should be like, which breeders are really good friends? Then I can name a couple. But I appreciate every single Japanese koi breeder. I think it's not only like promoting the whole koi and pond industry, but especially protecting the heritage, because what the Japanese breeders created, that mysterious world. When you go to Japan, I tried to convince Cal a couple of times this trip to come over this November. If you step out of the train and you drive into the Yamakoshi Mountains and you walk into the first koi breeder, you understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, you'll get the virus.
What virus? Please be careful.
The kakoi virus.
Well, and we don't have any vaccine for this one.
There is no vaccine.
When you get the koi virus, you will be infected for the rest of your life, I promise.
So since you guys dodged my question, what's your favorite type? What one fish, if you could pick one fish to be in your pond, what would it be?
Kindai Showa. So for the people who don't know what Kindai Showa is, Showa actually is a black koi with red and white markings. But Kindai means that the white, so the shiroji is more present. So it's more white than black and red. So that balance is great. And then there's also Doitsu Kindai Showa. Sorry, this is kind of technical. But Doitsu means scaleless. So the skin is so soft, you don't see any scales. So if I must choose, it's definitely Kindai Showa, second Kohaku, third Sanki.
That's crazy that you said that, because my favorite koi is a Doitsu Showa. So that's what I was going to say around the same thing, but also Karashigoi, I gotta say, they're amazing. I mean, just the mixture of a Kigoi and a Jagoi, sorry. It makes it just like a big, super friendly koi. And I've had a really good relationship with Karashigois before. And that Karashi actually means mustard. So mustard koi. What's your favorite?
Well, my favorite actually it's Sanke. But they say, this is the saying like in Japan, it's like Sanke breeders will go broke. Because it's so difficult to get a really nice Sanke. It's a white fish with red and black patterns. So, but what you have to look for is so many details. And if the sumi's on the head, the rest of the fish can be really good. But if the sumi's like in the wrong spot, it just is like, oh no. But you can forgive, like one little bit. You can forgive a little.
Always looking for that beautiful step pattern.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mentioned it, because sometimes we're too focused on, hey, is it a very high quality fish? Can it go to koi shows? I mean, I have koi that are not the prettiest one, but those I fell in love with, and that's what it's all about. When you see a fish,
preference,
and that's the most beautiful thing about this industry and this passion and hobby. You can choose whatever you like. And in the end, you are the one that needs to enjoy the fish. Yeah. If you want to go for high quality koi fish that will do good on koi shows, it's fine for me as well. I will enjoy it. I will visit it. And I will like it. But in the end, we all choose the fish you like.
Mm-hmm. That's the great thing, is there's a level for everybody, and a place to find your love.
Actually, so something interesting that I've been doing, I'd like to, if I can talk about it a little bit, is building a portfolio of fish. So you can build a portfolio of fish for koi shows for very inexpensive in Japan. They don't have to be jumbo 90 centimeters, You can do very small koi. And if you build that up, you've got some fish that have good potential, because the breeder doesn't want to take, this koi that's small to the show if it has, no chance. Right. But you can buy, I think I sold some koi for the koi show for $200, and it went to the show and they got a little award, That's pretty cool. And I think for kids, it's really cool, because then they can get in and say, oh yeah, Dad, can I buy this koi? And they're like, a couple $100. Okay, yeah, go ahead. So then you build up this portfolio, and maybe you bring those fish back as they retire from shows in Japan. So it's a different way of engaging in that world without having to go broke doing it. But if you want to spend the money, you can.
I love being able to bring small fish in and watch them grow and develop.
Right.
Maybe they don't turn into much, but they're still your koi. And it does bring a younger, generation and give interest to that.
Yeah, so. I think it would be so fun when they build up their portfolio, right?
Yeah.
It's like, is my fish going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think koi shows have done such a great job with that, you know, bringing it in, having enough awards so everybody feels a part of it.
Right. Yeah. I think so too.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I'm not super familiar with all the koi names or anything like that, but I do have a few myself, and I actually had some babies that were born inside my pond.
Congratulations.
Thank
You're
you.
a father.
I am
You're a
a
new
father. They're not the prettiest fish ever, but they are very, very cool. And it's been awesome to really watch the growth of them from the little tadpoles that I saw basically swimming through the lights at night and, you know, tell my wife, hey, we have baby fish. And she told me I was a liar until, you know, and she goes, oh my God, we actually got baby fish.
Wait till they get to college.
Yeah. So it's fun, you know, just being somebody that's new to the koi world and experiencing it and just getting your feet wet, even with just a few fish, and then just seeing the
That's where it
progression, the
starts.
journey.
Yeah.
You know, next thing you know, I'm going to be hopefully going for the Grandmasters and everything else and building massive ponds to house them.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, what's your first fish actually?
I might have a picture on my phone of it.
Really?
Yeah, it was Showa. A Jinrin Showa.
Oh yeah.
Shall I look it up on my phone? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
What about you?
Matsuba.
Matsuba.
Oh, pine cone.
Yeah.
How big?
It was probably 14, 16 inches.
Oh wow, you started big.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You still have that one,
That
don't
was-
you?
No.
Oh, you
Oh.
don't.
That was when I was like 3 years old.
Oh.
Did you? What would you do? You
My,
know?
my first fish were from Shane, so you can probably tell me better than I can on what they were.
You got an Ochiba,
Yeah,
and I can't remember
the
what
blue
else
one,
you got.
the blue one as well.
The Asagi.
Yeah, Nasagi.
I love Ochibas. I'm like a sucker.
Yeah.
If it's
Ochibas are nice.
Genrin, oh my god! I'm like,
Sorry, guys. I got 40,000 photos and videos on my phone.
You have next 10 seconds to find it.
I will. I'm almost there. I know it's on top somewhere. So
So one of my first loves was actually a Kage Shirotsuri. So it was like a small tosai. Oh,
I found it.
that looks awesome.
Yeah. That was a picture of my father 20 years ago. Sorry. I don't know which camera I should.
If you put it right above your microphone.
Oh.
Yep, right there.
Right.
Yep, we can see it. Perfect.
Nice skin rin.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, there. Hi. Yeah, so this was my first fish. And I remember I drove all the way to the south of the Netherlands. It was really far, 2 days. No, 2 hours. It's a small country. Picked it up, and it's actually, I didn't put it in my pond, but in the pond of my former father-in-law. And when he got back, he was like, what's that fish doing in my pond? And I was like, I don't know, I will take care of it. And then I bought my first pressure filter. It was actually a water filter system. So that's how I started in getting koi and more koi. And it's getting out of hand now. But
Typically happens.
Beautiful.
yeah.
But yeah, so I saw that little tosai, Kage Shirotsuri, and it really was the first koi that I noticed it was a mixture between an asagi and a shirotsuri. And so then after that, it just all started to come together for me. And I watched it grow from a small tosai to, what is it, like sansai now? And its
Yeah.
body is really nice. It's not the prettiest koi, but it's definitely my favorite we have in the gallery.
Yeah. You know, actually, it's funny. Savannah, she came in like 3 years ago. This girl, she knows every name of the koi now, and not that one. You know, I was like, all right, cool. You know all the names, like that's good. And then she's like, did you know that karashikoi means mustard? Like, actually, no, I didn't know that. Thank you, though. So now she's getting very versed in Japanese and everything because, you know, we stay over there for a long time now. It's so cool that she can actually talk to you about the history and what the meaning is behind the patterns. And it's so cool, though. You know, she just has a lot of passion for it. So I appreciate being able to be around her.
Thank you very much. It's definitely my favorite part, looking up the names of the koi, what they mean in Japanese, and then really being able to have like a fluid conversation about the koi with other koi hobbyists. That's the special part for it for me.
I think it's so amazing too that they're still coming out with new varieties.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so amazing. There's so many already, and to have new things coming up all the time is just amazing.
Yeah, I saw golden corn for the first time
Yeah.
this
Have you-
year.
Those are
Have you met
nice.
Godzilla?
No.
Godzilla from Igarashi? There's a
Awesome.
literally, right? There's a koi named Godzilla at Igarashi.
yeah, there's so many out there now, but to be honest, I try to stick to not the traditional ones, but the first one. I'm a big Gosanke fan. Gosanke is like a name that covers 3 varieties. In this case, it's Showa, Kohaku, and Sanke. So it's more my type of fish, but I also like other varieties like Goshiki. There's so many out there. Yeah.
When you see my pond, you'll see I like a lot of the unique varieties. So a lot of different
Yeah,
styles.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
He's got quite the collection. It's very, very, very cool.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah, I
it.
definitely want to see that.
Yeah.
I heard you're gonna barbecue too.
Ooh, I'm ready.
Gotta eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally sit down and relax and enjoy it.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that what we're supposed to
Yes.
do?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's
I'm
what
ready
it's
to
all about.
I'm ready to sit down and relax after about the 15 hours or so I've driven in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
You've been
I
doing
wasn't
a great
expected
job.
to work, but I thought it was a vacation holiday here in the end. No.
We're still alive though.
Yeah.
So we've got about 3 other ponds we're going to see in the next, I guess,
Yeah. 24 hours.
24 hours. I mean, is
One
there-
of those we were hoping to finish
Yeah.
before you guys came, and weather and machines just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But
Wait
you'll get to
for the
see it in
glass.
progress, and then we'll shoot you guys the videos.
Well, how cool
afterwards.
is that to show people also not a finished koi pond, but one that is still in progress,
Yeah.
so you guys can tell about the philosophy and about the thoughts behind it.
Yeah.
I think
Kind of
that's
that
really
design
cool.
process.
Yeah.
Have you guys joined the Koi Pond Builders of America?
Long while back.
Okay, because like the things that I try to do on that group is
on
to
your group, yeah.
on the group is I try to show like the DIYers, like, hey, if you're gonna do this yourself, just listen to these trusted sources, you know.
Yeah.
So I try to do that to promote it, but the way you guys did it, you know, that incorporation of natural, and it's also like kind of a dedicated pond for koi.
Mhm.
Properly done.
It's properly done. You know, your work is excellent.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
What do you guys see like from, I guess, a lot of your customers? I mean, you see that they get kind of the virus, the koi virus as well, and
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
They start with, we don't really want fish. And then they put a few in and we go do maintenance on their project, 2 years later, and it's full.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't want fish.
And they're like, we don't have enough filtration. Why
Well,
didn't
you
build
didn't
it
want the
in?" Yeah, it's
filtration.
like, you said you didn't want any koi in here. And now,
Yeah.
now we're battling everything. So here's this filter that can take care of it.
If you don't know, koi, they'll grab a hold of you. And it's a disease.
Yeah, yeah,
It is.
yeah. It's the best one to have.
My wife
Yeah.
thinks I'm a nerd. She still doesn't get it, but my pond's not done at my house.
You're
yet,
not a
so-
nerd. You have no idea how many great people are around the world that have
Oh, I know.
are passionate
Yeah,
about koi.
I know,
They're
but
all
you need to
nerds.
tell my
Yeah,
wife that.
yes, I know.
that is very true.
You know you're a nerd if you have a shirt with koi on it. All right.
Yeah.
Like Hunter has this nice button up, just like koi.
I think I saw the picture when you were out in California of that.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
my
I-
whole back is tattooed of a koi. So.
Oh, really?
And that's what we're gonna
Oh,
show
wait,
you
wait,
right
wait.
now, guys.
Start the music.
What kind of koi is it?
Ochiba and Showa.
Oh,
Nice.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
So
what
I
Ochiba
did it.
means? Oh, you did
Yeah,
it.
it
You
was
touched
the
it.
first It was nice.
So
So
I
fallen
love
leaves on water.
Ochiba. Yeah, fallen leaves on water. I just, the gray blue base with that orangish brown on top, almost bronze.
Mhm.
Really nice contrast.
Yeah, always been one of my favorites. So
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
knew the two I wanted for sure.
So how big are your fish out there?
At my house, my largest koi is probably 32 inches.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So we're gonna see something exciting today, huh?
yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
He did okay on the pond.
Oh yeah.
It's-
Because you build it.
No, no.
Oh.
How many gallons is it?
18,000.
18,000. That's
Yeah.
really good size. Yeah.
Nice.
That's about the same size as the one that I did in New Hampshire. That was like 17,000.
Yeah.
That one, yeah. So that's a lot of water, and I put, of course, the Perfect Clear on that system.
So what's your guys' favorite pond you guys have ever built?
I don't know.
And you can't choose your own.
Yes, that's the one I love the most, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's so many. It's always the next one, Next
Absolutely.
big thing, the next thing we're stepping out of the box and trying something new.
A lot of contemporary stuff,
Yeah,
I think
which suits the dedicated koi pond way better than what you guys saw earlier,
Right.
trying to convert something natural to dedicated or semi-dedicated.
But you guys didn't install the first pond there. That was a different installer. I guess you
Correct,
guys came
yeah.
back and ripped it all out
Yep,
and
started over.
Mhm.
started over.
We do a lot of that.
I know.
Unfortunately, and that's why we want better contractors. It's, people shouldn't be paying twice for something they love.
Yeah.
Period.
Mhm.
It keeps us busy, but it's not good for the whole, like we were talking about earlier, the whole
Hobby.
hobby. Yeah.
Yeah, going with the cheaper contractor is not going to be the cheapest end result because you're going to pay for it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, especially if your goal is to have koi and raise them. I mean, you gotta do it right.
Yeah.
So important.
So important. Do you guys feel that, at least here in America, I mean, it's always been, from a lot of the stuff I've seen, it's always been more the natural design, but you feel like you're seeing a lot more of the contemporary work coming up?
Yeah. Colorado is kind of a weird market because it's people want to bring the mountains to them. As I'm sure, in the Smokies, you guys probably get some of that same thing.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. very similar.
So, I mean, my first love was always building natural waterfalls. It's just been the last 10 years or so getting into the koi ponds heavy. So I like a mixture of the two, but I think the trend is starting to go more contemporary.
Yeah.
Especially in the Denver area.
And we're probably about 20% contemporary, 80% natural.
Well, I think if you have the space and you live in a great environment like you do here with the Rocky Mountains, when we flew out to here, I was stick with my face to the window. I see all those mountains, red rocks, yellow rocks, snow.
Is this your first time in Colorado?
It's my first time, and I already said I liked it more than
Don't
Tennessee.
you do it.
This
See, I
is
love Tennessee too, but
We'll see.
this
Coasts
is,
are beautiful.
this is so cool. So, the most of the people in Europe that have koi ponds, they don't have the space to build this big natural koi ponds as well. The gardens are way smaller. So that's one of the reasons why people are choosing different designs in here. And to be honest, if I would live here, I would definitely use some of that natural stone.
one big dedicated koi pond we did. They live in Denver and didn't have the space, but they wanted the water volume, so we just went super deep with it. It's still a decent size, platform, but what did we go, like six feet on it?
Deep.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And they could still keep their koi and keep adding to their collection. So
And we did slightly above ground on that one too, which
Yeah.
I really liked.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, we normally build ours 4 feet under grade and 2 foot above grade.
yeah, that's basically what we did too.
Yeah, I really like bringing the koi just a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So you can interact with them a little bit more. Pet them like little water puppies they are.
Yeah.
They get tamed so quick that
They
way.
do.
And you'll see on mine, I actually sunk the patio. So that way you come down into the
Don't
patio.
spoil it. Don't spoil
Yeah.
Should have done glass.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's your job now.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. We're waiting.
Yeah, on my pond.
Yeah, on your pond.
Yeah.
You're fixing what you really want.
All right. Well, I think it's been great, but I think we better get moving or we're going to lose the
Run
light
out
here.
of daylight.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And we're hungry.
Oh,
Yeah, we
barbecue.
hungry.
Gotta get to dinner.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well,
So if I can take a second to thank you guys for having me here, especially also Hunter and Atlantic Oase. This trip, it's like we're flying 9 or 10 days through different states. I've never done so many flights in one trip, but the guy, how you arranged everything, taking care of me, doing the dinner and stuff, so I can make the videos out there. That's something I really appreciated. So thank you so much.
And we really appreciate you guys
Thank you.
coming as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
it's fun to meet people that have the same passion you do. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. Thank you guys from our side. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. By the way, I think do we have a shirt exchange that we're supposed to do?
Well, we
Did
already did that
I want
to do that.
months ago, right?
we do that?
I sent you one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
I
a hat today.
I said I want Savannah's.
Mine.
All right, let's go, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Ethan and Shane, for having us and being part of the podcast and showing us around here in Colorado, and obviously Evo making the trip over to America and being a part of this, and Hunter for being with us, and I think overall we have I think the industry as a whole is really going in a great direction. It's really exciting. I think this week has really opened my eyes to that as well too.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much.